about? It's your boy Honcho's house. I'm back with a quick video. So as you guys know, it all kicked off on the RTM podcast between Young Spray and Tankz. I've been seeing the comments everywhere. I'm seeing the TikToks absolutely everywhere. And I'm seeing a little narrative here where it's like people are telling me, yo, Honcho, why didn't you back Tankz during that whole situation? Now, I wanted to make this video explaining why I didn't defend Tankz in this situation and why I still wouldn't defend Tankz in this situation. So it's all gone completely left in the podcast, but the reason it's gone left is solely because of Tankz, bro. And you guys have got to remember, yeah, as much as I got respect for Tankz, that was the first time I've ever met Tankz. I've seen his YouTube videos, I've heard London Scammer, I know who Tankz is, right? But I had no idea Tankz was even going to be coming to this episode until like the day before, right? So me and Trapler Ross are good friends. You guys already know this, yeah. Trapler Ross originally went on the RTM podcast with Young Spray, and he invited me to the episode. Like, this is the first time Trapler Ross has gone on, not this most recent one that's been going viral, yeah? So Ross has invited me to come to the RTM podcast. I basically said, like, oh yeah, I'll come along sort of thing. But in my head, I was thinking, do I even really want to roll? I haven't met Spray yet. Spray seems like a madman. I don't know what he's going to be like. I'm thinking, it's pointless for me to roll. I'm not speaking on there. But then we have plans to link Broad Day Blakes and stuff, and it all lined up, so I may as well have just been there, yeah? So I've gone there, I've met Spray, nothing but good vibes. Same thing with Chronic, nothing but good vibes. They've done their episode, it was calm. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it was done. And I've met Spray a few times after this as well, like, why for this? We've had dinners and shit, and a few smoke sessions or whatever. So, like, I've got to know Spray, yeah? A few different times, innit? So then when me and Ross are out in LA, Ross has said to me, yo, the stuff that's happening in LA is crazy. We need to go on a podcast. I'm like, yo, why don't we go on Spray's podcast together and explain the stuff that's been going on in LA? So he's told Spray this, and Spray said, yeah, you two come on the RTM podcast. Let's line it up. But we never managed to line it up. Everyone's schedules are so busy, and it was difficult to line it up, right? Now, eventually, Ross has dropped this Central C documentary, and he said to me, yo, I think it's going to be a good time for us to go on Spray's podcast. Let's line it up for this date. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's do it. Let's go on there. Let's go do it. I'm ready for it this time. Now I've been doing TikToks and YouTubes. I've got more shit to talk about. It makes sense for me to actually be on the episode as well, rather than sit in the corner and be there for no reason. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the day before, Ross has messaged me and said, yo, Tankz is going to come along too. So I've immediately said to Ross, yo, I don't know if I should even roll, because if it's going to be a thing of like, I'm not chatting on the podcast, I don't want to be there. I don't want to sit there for 4 or 5 hours whilst you lot are chatting and just be in the background. Like, it's a waste of time for me. I work hard. I've got shit to do. Like, I will watch it on YouTube when it comes out. There's no point me being there. And I was thinking, if Tankz is coming, now it's going to be... Basically, Tankz is going to take... It's basically going to be a Tankz episode, which is cool, and it basically was, but... It went viral. So anyway, I've said this to Ross. Ross has said, nah, don't worry, it's our episode. Like, let's go on. Let's do it, whatever. And I'm not going to lie to you, yeah. I didn't know what Tankz was going to be like. From his videos, I thought Tankz might be a bit arrogant, might be a bit rude in person. And he's the complete opposite, bro. When we've gone to where the podcast studio is, I've met him. And he said, oh, bro, Honcho, yo, nice to see you doing your thing. He's showing me love. And I thought, you know what? Why for this? But this guy's a sweetheart, bro. Like, I respect him. He's humble. And we're talking, we're giving each other game and whatnot, pause. And it was good vibes. It was nothing but good vibes, yeah? So now, we're all sitting there, me, Spray, Pinky, OG, Trapler Ross. We're all talking before the episode. Spray's getting annoyed at us chatting because he's like, yo, save it for the episode. So we're like, cool, we'll save it for the episode. Then anyway, we go in there now, pause. We go to sit down, and... the episode basically starts, and straight away from the jump, Tankz is on mind games, bro. Like, bearing in mind, we've just spoke with Tankz, and there was no mind games when we're talking before. There's no cheeky comments whatsoever. Straight away from the jump, he said to Spray, why did you have Tommy Robinson on your podcast when you're Muslim? You're going mad, or something like that. And I was thinking, oh my... I've mentioned to Spray, like, is Tommy Robinson your brethren? Because I don't know if there's some story I've seen online of Spray and Tommy Robinson going on holiday and Tommy Robinson beat someone up or something. I can't remember, like, where I've seen that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that sort of story. So I've said to Spray, like, yo, is Tommy Robinson actually your brethren? He's straight away backfired it onto me, pause, and he's just said... he's your brethren because you're mixed race. I'm like, I don't do all of that, whatever, but it's just a joke anyway. And then Tankz is like, you're going mad. You had Tommy Robinson on your podcast, but Tankz has had Tommy Robinson on his podcast. So I'm thinking, straight away from the jump, Tankz is on mind games, isn't it? But I'm thinking, is he knowing what he's actually saying there and how it's coming across? But Spray's let that one slide, innit? He's let that slide, but I'm already thinking, yo, Tankz is on a madness, yeah? Then, as we progress through the episode, there's been a few more little situations where Tankz has said cheeky comments, and I'm thinking, not gonna lie, them type of things he's saying, he's asking for binds, bro. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. He's asking for binds. But, and bearing in mind at this point, I don't know Tankz is autistic and got Asperger's syndrome, yeah? I'm not knowing this at all. So I'm just thinking, yo, he's saying mad things. He's talking about, when we're talking about Central C and that, he's saying things like, I'm out here, and I'm like, oh, man. Like, I just wouldn't say these type of things. I'm not trying to wish these type of things. Like, I'm not trying to be cheeky and get people to actually try and do something to me. I'm just trying to do my content and cut through. I'm not interested in... I'm not a gangster. I'm not saying I'm a gangster. I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm not this. I'm reporting on stuff or making content about stuff. Doesn't mean I'm portraying to be the people I'm talking about, right? So, Tankz is saying these cheeky comments, and then it gets to the point where I've realised we're talking about Central C for too long. I know Ross and Tankz have got their opinion on Central C. He's not a real gangster, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people have got that opinion. I'm not really hating on Central C for not being a real gangster or whatever they say, because I don't really care, bro. I like his music. I think what he's done is amazing. I've had my own relationship with him before, why for that? But I've got respect for him for that. Now, obviously, you can have opinions on him and what people think. Spray and Chronic are completely backing Central C to the death, bro, because, you get me, they've got an affiliation there, which I understand. It's smarter to be on that side than to not be on that side. It can do a lot for your podcast. He sampled them on the album. So, I'm just thinking, like, bruv, we've been talking about this for too long now. I'm just getting bored of talking about Central C. So, we've switched the topic now. I've said something about, you think Diddy's going to bust case. We're talking about that. Obviously, Spray has now mentioned... He's now trolling gigs about them two hanging out when they were hanging out, and they've got a song together. Diddy's shouting them out and whatnot. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is switch the topic from Central C to Diddy. Just something else. Doesn't even need to be Diddy. Just anything but, because we've been talking about Central C for like 3-4 hours, bro. It's just boring now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just boring. So obviously Spray's talking about gigs and Diddy hanging out, and he's talking about. There's a whole situation that's happening. I'm not going to go into it, but if you know about the culture, you'll know, innit? Everybody here should know about this whole situation, innit? And it's a serious situation, so I'm not really trying to talk about gigs, but where Spray is kind of trolling gigs, he's kind of opening up, he's opening up about the situation and saying, like, I've done a diss track every day for a month, I've even done a talk in the hardest, and he says my mental health was going through the roof. So I know in this particular moment, Spray's trolling, but he's also actually giving an honest opinion on this whole situation and talking about it, because the situation has happened mad. Somebody's nearly lost their life. Like, that is a serious situation, and for you to be even talking about it with the cameras there and with everyone around you, with someone who's allegedly involved in it, it's like, just let him talk at this point. Don't say anything. Just let him talk, innit? So obviously when he's saying what he's saying now, he's saying how his mental health is going through the roof, and then Tankz decides to say, was it fair to say you was begging it then? And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck have you said that for? And obviously, you've seen the video. This is where Spray's gone absolutely mental and just wilded out on Tankz, saying, begging what? They're basically about to fight. I'm seeing the narrative online like, oh, it was Honcho and Tankz versus Spray. I had nothing to fucking do with that at all. So stop putting me next to that, because it was nothing to do with it. And the whole reason I'm making this video and saying... The reason I didn't defend Tankz is because what Tankz did was fucking stupid, bro. What are you talking about? Are you begging it? Like, Tankz has made bare videos after and explained he's going there for the content. So I get that. I get he wants to say the points that people want to hear and whatnot. But I'm not trying to play with my life like that, bro. I know Spray is a gangster. I know the people he's around are gangster. I know what they've been on and what they're about. So I'm by no means coming there to try and act like a bad man or act like I'm a gangster. I'm there to go on a podcast, and we're there to have a discussion, have a debate, have a talk and whatnot. So when Tankz has said this, I'm just like, you're on your own on this one, mate. Bearing in mind, we've just met as well. So it's like, I'm not there to defend you, bro. Like, as much as I respect him as a content creator and I've met him now, he's a sweetheart and whatnot, I'm not going to defend you saying some madness, bro. I haven't come there as your brethren. We've literally met there. You and Ross have been talking, not me and him at all. So it's like, once you've said that madness and Spray's done what he's done, why are you expecting me to defend Tankz, bro? Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to die? You want me to get involved and try and try and talk to Spray and get in the middle of it and try to break it up. Now, I did edge out on my seat when it was happening because I was thinking, like, I can't really just... We don't really want anyone getting beaten up on the... It's just an awkward situation. It's like, either we're going to have to try and break it up, but I don't want to try and break it up if it does get physical, and now I'm getting hurt because I'm trying to break it up. Like, I don't want them to even think I'm trying to back Tankz, or I'm just trying to stop it from happening. So when I've edged out on my seat, Spray's talking about, please sit back, please sit back, please sit back. I'm now in my head like, I'm not just going to sit back and look like a pussy now, because by no means am I saying I'm a bad man or I'm a gangster, but I'm also not just going to be told sit back and I'm sitting back like I'm just, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm not sitting forward to get involved in this. So I've said I'm not getting involved in this. I'm sitting here, don't worry about me. Like, I'm just sitting here, either I'm about to get out of here or I'm going to try and stop it. But at no point should I be defending Tankz in that situation, I think. The only thing I could do is de-escalate the situation, but I'm not Tankz's muscle. I'm not trying to get involved, and if Tankz is getting beaten up, now start fighting for Tankz, bro. Like, he said something stupid, and he's got to be held accountable for what he said, innit? So it's not a thing of, oh, why didn't you back Tankz? Of course I'm not going to back Tankz in that situation. He said something silly. The consequences of what he said is about to happen. And that's his problem, innit? Ross was there with him. Nobody's saying, oh, Ross, you didn't defend Tankz. Like, all we can try and do is de-escalate the situation. But at the end of the day, they've squashed their beef. There was no beef, really. It was just that moment. They've squashed it. I see Tankz call Spray on live, and they've spoke about it. Obviously, I've made the video explaining what happened at the situation, because that's what I do on TikTok, bro. I talk about things on TikTok. That's literally my whole thing. So I've done that. Spray's messaged me and he said, you basically told them everything. I'm going to have to put that out now. My impressions were it was coming out already. I didn't know he was thinking about putting it out, or maybe thinking about not putting it out. But obviously we want it to come out because that's the moment of the podcast that's going to go viral. Like, that's what we're doing this for at the end of the day. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video and basically explain I would never defend Tankz in that situation. If it happened again, I wouldn't defend him in that situation just because of what he said was stupid. That's like Tankz saying something mad to someone about their ops, saying, oh yeah, I heard your ops went and got this person down, and then you're expecting me to be like, if he gets hurt now, oh no, I should defend him. No, like, I don't agree with what you said, and I wouldn't have done that. So I'm not gonna defend you in that situation, and I'm most definitely not getting involved in other people's beefs, bro. That's not me whatsoever. I don't have beef. I don't have ops. I don't have any of this. So why am I gonna get involved in this whole situation? Like, I'm gonna go quickly into the video I've made about it, and I can just see. Look, so people are saying no matter the context, telling him he's begging it. It was a diss thing. He needed that press. Who the fuck does he think he is? Top comment here. You should have backed Tankz G. People here. Do you live in the real world? LMAO, you want Honcho to die. Like, man got away with disrespecting that Bread on Sinners podcast. Now, you get me. Now, look. I understand that Tankz he gets the content, right? He knows how to challenge people's views and say things that people want to hear. And he does it in a very cheeky way. Ross can do those sort of things as well, but he just says cheeky things about people who aren't really there, innit? But that's not my lane. My lane is not trying to say cheeky things and get people to laugh at the comments. I'm just literally doing what I want to do and what I think is appropriate, innit? So if you say some stupid comment about someone's op, about some shit that's happened, and then obviously he's saying he didn't know, so fair enough if he didn't know, but also I just wouldn't even say them things, and I'm most definitely not going to defend someone saying something stupid to a gangster, bro. What do you want me to do? You want me to get up and stand in the middle and be like, yeah, no, I rate Honcho for backing it. Bro, I'm not trying to die over a dumb thing somebody else has said when I've just met him that day. You get me? So there was no reason for me to defend Tankz. If we could rewind time, I still wouldn't defend Tankz. The only thing I would have tried to do in the situation is de-escalate it, which I did, and just stop anyone getting hurt. But also, he needs to understand that what he said was stupid, and that's the consequences of what will happen if you say stupid shit like that. So yeah, I would not back anyone. But guys, what do you think about that whole situation anyway? Do you think Tankz was moving mental, saying what he said? Do you think Spray had the right reaction? I personally think Spray, his reaction, there was nothing wrong with it, and from the get-go, Tankz is saying a couple cheeky things. Spray's even said to me when we're outside, he's like, I had to do that because, remember, he's already gone mad from the start with the Tommy Robinson comment, and I've let it slide because it's too early. So he was like, I had to say something. Then there was a whole other situation. I couldn't really understand what the situation was between Young Spray and Tankz that has gone on previously. I think it's over some content or whatever. But yeah, At no point am I gonna fight for Tankz in that situation, because what he's done is off his own back, and we've met each other that day. We're not best friends. We've just met. We've met once. I've completely respect him and rate his content, and I do think he's a nice guy, and I would classify him as a brethren now after meeting him. But also, I'm not defending people for the shit they say. Just like with Ross, if Ross says something stupid, I will check Ross for it and say, yo, what you said is stupid there. And I will say online, yo, I think what he said there is stupid. Doesn't matter if we're friends. I'm not just going to defend everything you say and cheerlead everything you say, because it might not be the right thing that I agree with, innit, at the end of the day. So yeah, just wanted to make this video, let you lot know, but you lot let me know your thoughts in the comments about the whole situation. If you think I should have defended Tankz, let me know in the comments. We can start a whole debate about it, and let's see what people are thinking, man. But yeah, my stance is, if you say stupid shit, you've got to deal with the consequences for it, even if you are my brethren. It's a different story. If, in fact, let me not even say that, because I'm just not involved in the beef. I'm not involved in any of this type of shit. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a bad man. I'm a content creator. I'm a civilian. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you subscribe to Honcho's House. And I am out for now.